What's up, everyone? I am here with Alex Pierson Turner of Goosehead Insurance. You know who I am, your lovely friend Nicole. Hopefully you like me. We're actually here just to talk about him as a person, what he does for his business, get to know him a little bit better. I always see whenever people are asking about local businesses and where to go for certain services, they really are looking for the experience with the person that other people dealt with. So just the purpose of today and most of these interviews that I do with everybody is to help you really get to know the people a little bit better. So Alex, for starters, tell the lovely people what it is that you do.
So I am an insurance broker. I work for Goosehead Insurance. We are actually the largest agency in Texas, maybe the nation. Last time I checked, I think we are the largest agency in the nation, which means we have, more options than any other agency. I feel like I'm getting off track. I'm sure we'll dive back into this, the specifics of what I do, but essentially, I'm in personal lines insurance, property and casualty. I sell home insurance, auto insurance, flood insurance. If you own rental properties, I sell insurance for those properties as well. We don't do anything really commercial, so anything 4 units or more than 4 unit complexes. Once you get past 4 units, I think, 4 units, then you get more into the commercial space, which we really don't do. It's all personal lines, but we're very competitive in every line that we do, right? I don't know if that was.
And what types of insurance do you do? Like car, house, medical,
I didn't say
house?
That. Home insurance, auto insurance, flood insurance, rental property insurance, we call it dwelling fire policies, extended liability, and that's pretty much it.
Awesome. Okay. So we're currently in Kemah, Seabrook area. Where are you originally from?
So I'm actually right down the road. I'm from LaPorte, Texas. That's where I was born and raised. I graduated from LaPorte High School. I went to school at the University of Houston. After I graduated from the University of Houston, I actually, it took a few years to get here, but I actually ended up delivering mail back here in Seabrook, probably for 3 years leading up to me selling insurance for Goosehead. So this is hometown for sure.
I guess that leads me into my next question. What got you started in this business?
So I love delivering mail. I really did. That was probably one of my favorite jobs. You can build a career out of it. I love the people that I work with. I think it's really important. There was a place I wanted to be personally. I wanted more financial freedom. I wanted schedule flexibility. There was a lifestyle that I wanted, and I really had no direction on how to attain that. And so it was actually through my best friend, who is another realtor in the area. He's been a realtor in Houston for maybe 7 years. Introduced me to my current boss, and he decided to invest in me on a personal level. And the biggest thing here with insurance, or at least with the model that Goosehead has, is you don't have to be a strategic salesman to be successful. You just have to genuinely care about people, and you have to be personable, and you have to build relationships and be able to do that. And so when he showed me what the product was and really what Goosehead does, it's essentially, I don't know, it was almost a no-brainer for me. So I got my license. They sent me through their training, and ever since then it's just been a matter of just that, building relationships with realtors like Nicole, or even lenders, and really helping specifically new home buyers. So when they're in that process, they're really leaning on people like Nicole, or they're leaning on that lender for advice, especially first-time home buyers. And a part of that process, something that is very small and sometimes overlooked as important, is probably one of the most important pieces, and that's not just getting into this home that is probably the largest asset of your life. Definitely the biggest purchase up to that point. It's making sure that that asset is properly insured. And so even though it's a small piece of the puzzle, it is not what people think it is. Like, we watch commercials all day, every day, and it's just funny characters telling you to save money or bundle, save 15% or save $500 or more, and that's not the conversation that we need to be having. Insurance, it's a it's important. We're insuring the most valuable asset in your life, and there's a lot that goes into it. And so I think the biggest thing that I do that sets me apart from other agents is I don't just generate quotes and send them in an email. I talk to my clients. I go through their policies line by line. I educate them. I make sure that they understand what they're purchasing and why, and how they're going to have to use their insurance if they ever get in a situation. Obviously, the idea here is you don't ever have to use it, but if you do, you want to make sure that the proper coverages are in place so that you will be reimbursed and made whole in the event that you do have to use that insurance.
That's really important.
Oh, absolutely.
What has surprised you the most in this business so far? Like something you weren't really expecting to get into or have to deal with?
I would probably, to answer that, I'll probably just extend off what goes into insurance, is I had no idea. Before I started selling insurance, I had the same perception. It was, it was just this one size fits all. You just need to get insurance on your house, and you just need to get the cheapest that you can find. And that's not the case at all. When I got into training, I had no idea how much actually goes into every policy and how much every individual policy is so specific to that client and that location and that home. And it is not one size fits all at all. And so this idea that you could get insurance just online, it makes no sense. Once you're on my side of the fence, it blows my mind that people do that. That people will just go online and buy insurance, even auto insurance. Like you need to talk to someone that is licensed, that knows what they're doing, because this is very, very important. Like obviously, invest your money properly, but protecting those investments is, you should also focus on and prioritize. And so I would say that's the biggest thing that surprised me, is how much actually goes into insurance and how important it is. Like seeing claims, like when I pull these claims history reports, it's sad. It's sad. And a lot of these clients that I get on the phone, they have these horror stories of, having claims, like even during this freeze. Like we've had clients come to us because their insurance company did not pay them. And it's scary. It's scary. And a lot of that can be avoided if you get yourself in front of a knowledgeable agent that is willing to take the time to walk through your policy with you and make sure that you are properly insured. And so, I don't want to repeat myself, but essentially, it surprised me. I had no idea what I was getting into. And now that I'm on this side of the fence, it was just like, I got to tell everybody, like, insurance is important. we need to prioritize it. I don't know.
It definitely makes sense. Plus, I know for myself, like having someone to actually like tell you the important things, obviously is definitely important, because for me, like I don't know anything about insurance. So I've always been kind of made aware of just like, oh, just one-stop shop, just click a button and then this person's going to tell you like, these are your two options. Like, what can you afford? Here you go. And then they never actually explain to you what is going on. So I feel like that's a really big thing too, is just making sure you kind of understand like what it is that you're getting,
right, and
then knowing the difference. So yeah, even before hearing you talk about some of the stuff, I probably was one of those online shoppers, but I've never really even known like, oh, there's actual insurance agents that are meant to like, which but like he said with the commercial type thing, an insurance agent that they put out now is that person on the phone that just gives you those two buy options and that's it. You don't really think about the fact that there are people that are actually out to help you. So that's really cool.
No, it is.
Nice.
It is.
Okay, so what has changed for you from whenever you first started with this business to now? And that could even include just the hardest thing for you, or I know there's things you weren't really aware about, but like what would you say is the most major change from the beginning to now?
I would say, and this is on a personal level, so I don't know if this ties into any sort of, Goosehead pitch, but, when I was a mailman, there was really no stress. You come in, you see how much work you have to do, you get it organized, and then you go and do it. And then when you leave for the day, your job is done, which there's something to be said about that type of job. Like, it is stress-free when you leave for the day. But at this job, it has required a lot more structure. Like, I really had to look inward, and it's really helped me develop as a person. And, you know, with not just with time management, but I mean, you know, organization. It's weird how your work life transitions, but you spend so much time on what you do, or at least you do if you're passionate about it. And these developments that I'm making just to make sure that I can succeed at what I'm doing has translated into my personal life. And so I am more organized. I am more structured. I've created so much time and free time in my own life just by being more organized. And it's weird. It's like, there's a word that starts with a D that for whatever reason I cannot find. Not determination, discipline. Discipline creates freedom. And that's something that I didn't have, that I didn't really need. Like, you walk to the post office, you just do it, and it's not necessarily hard. But at this job, going out and building relationships and having to be proactive and really develop my own business has required a lot more of me that I didn't realize I was capable of. So just on a personal level, I would say that's what's changed the most in my life. It's just my development as a person.
Definitely requires growth, the capacity to grow. And I can for sure know that there's some people, like, once they get started into this type of business, they're not ready for that. And I hate to say some people aren't meant for it, but you definitely have to be ready, like in the right spot mentally, in order to get into like this type of business or like the entrepreneur type of world. Because if you're not ready and it's not something you want to do, it's definitely going to be a struggle, that's for sure.
Well, and that's probably the biggest thing is it's anytime you get into any sort of business like this, whether it's real estate, whether it's lending, whether it's, you know, even insurance, any sort of sales position where it's built on building relationships, you have to be driven and you have to be willing to work. And it's hard to work as hard as you can. It's hard to run as fast as you can if you don't know where you're going and you don't know how to get there. And a huge part of doing anything like this is finding a mentor. And my boss, my office head, Chase Johnson, the one who hired me, who brought me on, he is just incredible. But he invested in me on a personal level and really took me on as a mentorship, and not just how to sell insurance, not just how to go out and meet realtors and market to lenders to help get in front of clients, but like the organization, the discipline. Like, he's invested me on a personal level on how to succeed, and I can't stress how big or important that is, especially in this industry. So like you said, some people, they're not meant for it. But I think a lot of people don't succeed because they don't have direction. And I think direction is huge, and to establish that roadmap, you really do need someone to show you the way. Like, you need someone that's already done it to show you how to get there. And so finding a mentor is just crucial if you want to do anything in this industry where you're essentially working for yourself and marketing for yourself.
Definitely super important.
Yeah. Was that even a question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet. Okay, I just use this all the time.
Perfect.
It's so going. Okay, I got super worried. Okay. Customers say they love
Are mic still on?
Yeah, I can see it on there.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Nice. So what's next? Are you trying to wrap up?
No, I'm trying to like have a pause because I got up.
Okay.
So I'm having a like cut scene moment before I ask you your next one.
All right.
Ready? Okay. What would customers say they love most about your business?
The service. And I know that's cliche whenever you're talking about any business, but statistically, Goosehead Insurance has the best customer service in the entire insurance industry. Our retention rate is ridiculous. We have clients still on our books from day one that I feel like, especially in today's market, most companies cannot say. Rates are going crazy, and if you are with we call them captive carriers, right? This is your Allstates, your USAAs, your State Farms. They have one product, and if you have home insurance with them and your rates are going up, they cannot move your business. All they can do to bring that premium down is cut coverage or raise deductibles, which essentially benefits nobody but them, right? And so with our model, we are able to place your business with other carriers while maintaining your business. And what that does is that allows you to maintain the proper coverage while also keeping your premiums as low as possible, or at least as low as the market will allow. And that's what we're trying to do. And it's not just that we are able to do that, it's the fact that you have these agents, these licensed agents, including myself, that are willing to walk you through that process. Someone that you can call and say, hey, my premium has gone up, can you help me? And I will literally go back to the drawing board, just like we did from the day that we signed you up with insurance or first issued your first policy, and I will shop the entire market. And what we're able to do, and in this market, is we are able to place your business with carriers that want your business. So, you know, USAA, State Farm, Allstate, these big national brands, they are so successful on a national platform that they can pick and choose where they write. And unfortunately in Texas, insurance companies can do just that. They can literally pick where they write and what they're going to offer. It is not really standardized. Obviously, our carriers are regulated to an extent, but you end up with this coastal area where carriers can charge whatever they want, or they can exclude wind coverage, or they'll only write, you know, a 5% wind hail deductible, which, you know, if you have a house that costs $300,000 to build, I mean, what is it? That's a $15,000 deductible, which is just ridiculous. So what we're able to do is we work with regional carriers that want this business. They've specialized in managing the coastal risk, and what we also are able to capitalize on is the ebb and flow in the market. So what I've noticed shopping the market myself is carriers will compete for market share at different points in time. Like they'll capitalize on that, or they'll go for that market share, you know, by lowering their premiums. And what they do is they go into a specific market, you know, in the coastal area, and they price themselves competitively to gather a market share. And then once they get to a point where they have enough business, or at least they've limited themselves on the business that they're willing to carry that risk for, then they'll slowly start to raise their prices back and move themselves out of the market. And so as a client, what I'm able to do for you is I'm able to capitalize on these ebbs and flows. So if your premiums go up, I have access to the carrier that is now competing for your business, and we can move your business with that carrier. We're going to maintain the coverage, right? I want to make sure that all my clients are properly covered. And after a phone call, right, we are on the same page. I've discussed those coverages with you. But we're able to maintain that coverage while lowering your premium. Sometimes I'm able to save my clients an additional $200-300, but at the very least, I'm able to move that business so they're not being penalized, right, from the premiums not being, you know, jacked up to the roof because that carrier that they're with has decided they don't want that market share anymore. I don't know if that was a very long-winded answer, but that, I don't know.
I was absorbing. I was I'm absorbing. It was a good answer though. So you actually shared with me one time, it was a statistic. Mm-hmm. I hate that word.
Statistic?
Statistic.
Oh, yeah.
It was pretty interesting. You said that y'all had taken, y'all just gotten information from people. I guess they voted on like, oh, is the corporate people versus the customers?
No, that's a great, I'm so glad you brought that up. Yes. All right. So if we're diving into Goosehead and why I love Goosehead so much. So
you just got really passionate, guys.
No.
That's what you want.
Well, it is. This is really cool. So I don't know the exact survey.
Survey, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I don't know the exact survey. It was like a Harvard or Yale study, right? Where they went and interviewed or surveyed like the top executives of all these insurance companies. And then they went and surveyed end users, the customers. And they asked them the same questions, or at least the question was to list in order what's important to you when you're shopping for insurance. And what they saw was like this inversion. It was all of the corporate executives, their focus has been user-friendliness, technology, the idea that customers just want to be able to get on their phone and buy insurance as simply as possible, essentially is what their goal is. And then you actually come to the people that are buying the product that are insured, and top of their list was a knowledgeable insurance agent. And you come back to the corporate executives, and that's at the bottom of their list. So your major companies over here trying to eliminate the agent altogether. And I mean, it makes perfect sense. They're trying to, you know, an uneducated client is probably the easiest to get the money from. But essentially, what Goosehead has done is we've prioritized the agent. We have, well, the customer, but we put the agent at the forefront, and all our technological advances, which we are leading the industry technologically as well. But we're giving that tool to the agent so they can use that to better help the customer. Because at the end of the day, being educated is what's so important, and knowing what you're buying and having someone actually walk you through the customers or the coverages. I cannot count how many customers, like midway through me going through this, they're just like, I've never had an agent do this. Like, this is incredible. It blows people away, and it makes me so happy when I'm able to give a client that kind of experience while also saving them money, obviously. And eventually, you know, the idea here is that, you know, that we're your sole point of contact. We've onboarded, this is something else we've done that no one else is doing. We've onboarded the entire customer experience. So sometimes you'll go to an agency, right? We're not the only agencies that shop other carriers, but they'll issue your policy, they'll sell the policy, and then you're left to whatever customer service department exists for the carrier that they've written you with. And so they're just shopping, and then that's where their job is done. Exactly. But we've onboarded everything. So if you need to change your car, if you buy a new vehicle, if you need to change billing information, if you move, whatever it is, you call Goosehead, you call our service team, which I think I've already said is industry leading. They're incredible, and they will handle everything. So the idea is we've reduced the carriers to just financially carrying your risk. And we are your insurance company. So no matter where we place your business with, we're gonna be the sole point of contact. And what makes this really cool, I'm really going on a tangent here, is claims. So during the freeze, all the busted pipes, all right? It was just chaos from an insurance standpoint. And if you were a part of that, I'm sure you called your insurance company and were on hold for hours and hours and hours. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that just didn't get paid out on their claims.
They're still waiting.
Yeah, there probably are, still waiting. And that's, so when you make any sort of claim and you're a Goosehead client, you don't call your carrier, you call Goosehead. And there's, I say twofold, but there's several folds here. If you call your carrier and you say, hey, I have some damage, I don't know how bad it is, I'm not 100% sure if I should make a claim or how to make a claim, you've already made a claim. They've already documented that claim. Whether you decide you don't want to make a claim or not, you now have a claims history. Even if the payout's $0, it's still going to affect your premium moving forward. The second you call in, they file that claim. Now, with Goosehead, you call us. Same exact process. Everyone that picks up that phone is a licensed agent, and what they'll do is they'll help walk you through that, assess your damages, figure out with you if it makes sense to make a claim or not, and then if the answer is no, no harm, no foul, there's no claim history. If the answer is yes, then we will file a claim for you. And what we've noticed during this freeze is it's almost as if the carriers we write for, because we are so large and we write so much of their business, that they prioritize our clients. So, I mean, in the past, if carriers didn't pay out, we fire them, right? If their service is bad, even on our end, we fire them. And we've gotten so big that we're attracting, and we can be selective in the carriers we write for. So it's not just that we're able to shop the market and get you the best premium, but there's this guarantee, I don't want to say guarantee, but there's this confidence that the carriers we're placing you with are good carriers, and they're gonna pay out if you ever have to use that insurance. Perfect example, during the freeze, the very first claim call that I received was actually one of my very first clients, and he had his wife on the phone with State Auto. I probably shouldn't say the actual carrier name, but whatever insurance they are with, all right, maybe it's not State Auto. So home insurance with this company, wife's on the phone with them. He calls me. He doesn't know what to do. Whole time with their carrier, 6 hours. Calls me. I'm like, all right, you know what? Let's do this. Let's three-way call. I called my service team, right? infrastructurally, I'm not, my role is not to manage claims, but our service team is. But I call in because I want to make sure everything's getting taken care of. And we're on hold for maybe 40 minutes. All right, remember, the entire state of Texas is making claims at this point. We get on in 40 minutes. I'm listening to the entire call. She's literally getting all the details. He has his contractor at the house already. They're assessing all the damages. And at the end of that call, you know, she puts together a report and decides that he decides that we're gonna go ahead and make a claim. And so we file that claim. And so he called me back maybe a week later, and he was just like blown away at like the speed of everything, the service from beginning to end. And he was actually a property investor. He had like 5 or 6 other properties that, you know, he gave me all of his business because he was so impressed with that claims experience. And so, meanwhile, if he would have gone straight to that carrier, 6-hour hold time, he not only knows what the actual end result would have been. So that's just one example. And I know this is getting very, very long-winded, but it's important to know, like, we're changing the industry. Goosehead really is, and we are adamant about it and passionate about, you know, ripping the power away from this oligopoly that has been the insurance for the insurance, simple word that I cannot find right now, industry for so long. Industry, that's what I was looking for. And we really are. We're trying to undermine the entire process, and it's all at the customer's benefit. It's so simple, and somehow we've gotten so far removed from this idea that if you just take care of the customer, you're gonna succeed. It's that simple. And we've taken this simple idea, and we're the fastest growing insurance company in the nation because of it. Because it's that easy. You just take care of the customer and everything's gonna be okay. So I don't know.
Can y'all see his passion right now? It's
yeah, I'm getting a little fired up.
It's radiating right now. I can feel the heat from his face. I kind of feel like, though, even like what you're talking about with like the online and the easy button and just call 123. I feel like with your version, you're still getting that easy button, but you're actually getting taken care of and you're actually getting the knowledge. So from my perspective, I'm still not having to go through all that trouble as if I was on the phone with somebody who maybe isn't great at their job. Y'all are doing all of that for me. So that experience that you're looking for, that whole like, I want to go online because I don't want this to take forever. You're still getting that, but you're actually getting someone taking care of you, which obviously is really important.
Right.
So that's amazing. Okay, so that was some amazing information. I definitely learned a lot. Again, with just like the personalization, if y'all can't tell how passionate Alex is about his job, he gets super happy. I wish everybody was that passionate about their job. It's really cool. And again, just with you actually getting the help that you need from somebody, I feel like that's super important. We can all go click the easy button and get trash service, screw ourselves over in the long run, even if it feels like we're getting help in the short term. But I think it's important to really invest your time into someone that actually knows how to do their job and does it really well. So thank you, Alex, for coming to the show.
Right. Well, no, really, thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing this with me. I think this was awesome. This was really awesome.
Hopefully.
What you're doing, you know, for the community, I think it's going to be really awesome.
Thank you. So hopefully you guys love all of the information. Make sure you subscribe up top if you're on the website. Like and subscribe if you're on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You know the deal. Hit the hearts buttons, the hearts buttons. All of those fun things. And then make sure you follow Alex as well. I'm kind of forcing him to get on his Instagram game, guys. So keep track of him with that. All right. So thank you for stopping in. Let me know if you have any questions, if you need help with anything in the area as well. So have a good day. Peace.